Good evening, everyone. Once again, it's such a nice feeling to see you guys again. I think we met last week last. Hey Suresh, good to see you. Long time. Cool. So let's get started with something I learned some time back from actually my mentor only, and I thought this is a really nice thing to discuss with you guys also today because it really was very interesting when I learned about it. So guys, I want to ask you guys a question. How many of you know that there is a mid part in our brain which exists, which is responsible for actually how long we are going to live this life? How many of you know about this? That there is a part, and it has a very complex sort of a name. Okay, there's a part in the middle of our brain which basically exists and which drives our willpower to live, a bigger life. Anyone? Anyone who's aware what that is called? Have you heard about this, in the past somewhere? कोई है जिसको पता है? Like there is a part of our brain which is responsible for enhancing the willpower, for enhancing how much we are going to live, for enhancing, how deeply hungry we are going to become in this life. No? All right, I can see some of you guys are saying no. Those of you who are neither saying a yes nor a no, which category do we belong to? All right, so some people are saying no. Okay, okay. So, guys, this part within our brain, which basically is responsible for how easily or how difficult it will be for us to be able to achieve our goals in life, is called anterior mid-cingulate cortex. Now, you don't have to remember the name. I know it's a little tricky and difficult. You may forget it, but we have to understand why am I speaking about this and why are we even taking this up, because it is really important for what this part within our brain does. You can even remember it as midbrain, okay? You don't have to remember the exact name. You can remember it as midbrain, okay? This part which is anterior mid-cingulate cortex is a very small, that's a complex name. Yeah, Christine, I agree. It's a very small pea size. So this our brain, in this part within our skull, just at the center of the brain, there is this small pea-shaped, you can say thing. P क्या होता है? Mutter, right? So you can understand how small this particular part is within our head, within our brain. It's called, you can call it aMCC, you can call it midbrain, you can call it anterior mid-cingulate cortex. Why are we speaking about this? Why are we speaking about this? Because it has been scientifically proven. Like, of course, after the session, you can go, you can read more about it, see more videos. I'll also play a video in front of you right now so you understand what it does. But this part is so strong for us that if we can, and it's a very small, it's a very small part within our brain. If we can increase the size of this part within our brain, it will become super easy for us to be able to accomplish our goals and become successful in life. So we actually can increase the size of this part of the brain. We do have that power in us that we can increase the size of this midbrain. And what you have to do, or what I have to do, what anyone has to do in order to increase the size of the midbrain is very simple. It is do an activity which you don't like to do. When you do an activity, let's say you do an activity today which you don't like at all, like you don't have to like it, okay? Also, you don't have to love it. Like if you like an activity, suppose you like going to the gym, for example, you like going to the gym, you like exercising. Then, and let's say you go for 45 minutes every day, as an example. Then going to the gym for not just 45 minutes, for 1 hour, 1 hour 15 minutes, 1 hour 30 minutes is not going to increase the size of the midbrain. Why? Because you already like doing that activity. So increasing the number of hours of that activity is not going to increase the size. The condition to increase the size of the middle brain is we have to do an activity which we don't like to do. So suppose you like eating junk. Okay, you like eating pizza, burger, KFC, etc. And you convince your brain one day that no, I should not be eating it because it is not healthy, then the size of the midbrain increases. Are you understanding? If you don't like going to the gym and one day you go to the gym convincing yourself that nahi yaar zaruri hai mere liye, I have to go, then the size of that midbrain increases. So it's not increasing the number of hours. Suppose you don't like facing the camera. Okay. Suppose you don't like facing the camera, but one day you somehow convince yourself कि नहीं यार जरूरी है, I have to face it because it's required for my work. Then the size of the middle brain increases. Because this middle brain is responsible for us accomplishing goals in our life. And it ensures that the more difficult a situation becomes, the more outside of our comfort zone we get, the more its size increases. Are you understanding, guys? What's the logic behind it? Jitna basically we will do activities which we don't like to do, the more the middle brain is going to increase in its size. That's it. उतना ही है बस, उतना ही करना है. So, what is that one activity, guys, if I may ask you right now? What would be that one activity that you would say is extremely difficult to you, which you don't like to do at all in any area of your life, in your relationships, in your career, in your wealth, in your health? What is that one activity which you don't like doing at all? Okay, so Vedehi says it's reading books. How about others, guys? What are some activities you know are super important for you, but you hate them, you don't like doing them? Okay, stop tea, stop munching, waking up early, reading books, cooking regularly, physical exercise. All right, reading books, waking up early, exercise, cooking. All right. But you know that is very important. Doing dishes, really not for me. Okay, coffee, reading and exercise. It has to be a productive exercise, productive thing, guys. Like something which is productive, which you know is going to help you in the near future, but you're still not doing it. For example, doing dishes. It's not really something very productive. Okay? So I'm not asking you guys that what are some activities you hate doing. ऐसे तो मैं बोलूंगी यार मेरे को घर की झाड़ू लगाना नहीं अच्छा लगता. But I have a maid who's doing the same for me, right? I mean, I don't have to do that, and it is not adding any level of productivity in my life, right? So basically, it's not adding any value also in my life. So I am speaking about activities, guys, over here, which you know are definitely going to add a lot of value for you, but you do not like doing it. Okay. Reading big documents, proofreading, writing emails, exercise, driving car, learning driving. All right. So, what the theory says that this part of our brain, which is aMCC, the more you do that activity that you don't like doing, the more the size of the middle brain increases. And this part of your brain is basically, it increases the strength of the brain that we need. हमें अपनी ब्रेन की स्ट्रेंथ को अगर इम्प्रूव करना है ना, then we have to increase the size of the middle brain. So you guys tell me one thing. I'll give you person A versus person B. ठीक है? And you have to tell me किसके केस में the size of the middle brain would be bigger. Okay? There is person A who is obese. Okay, I'm not judging anyone over here as such. No judgments attached with anyone. Don't take any example personally. I'm just randomly creating an example in my mind without any reference to anyone. So person A is obese, and you see that person being very fat, and they are sitting on a sofa, they are watching TV, they are having chips and beer in their hands, and they're like very, very comfortably landed on the sofa and watching TV. Okay, that is person A. Person B is someone who regularly hits the gym and likes exercising, likes experimenting with new exercises, and likes lifting weights, does some exercises over there, does cardio, does weight training, and takes care of the diet. Who do you think has bigger strength in terms of their brain? Person A or person B, guys? Person A has bigger strength of brain or person B? Okay. Everyone has to tell me. Person B, most of the people are saying B. Nirav, why do you think person A has more strength? वो क्या उसने उखाड़ा है जीवन में, क्या स्पेशल कर रहा है वो लाइफ में? That you think? Okay, Ananya, Archana, what do you think person A is doing better in terms of, the strength of brain? Does it require any effort to sit on a sofa with a chips ka packet and a Coke and watching TV, Netflix? Does it require any effort at all? कुछ एफर्ट चाहिए यार, मस्त अपना जैसे मैं अभी बैठी हूँ सोफे पे अपना ऐसे गिर के टीवी देख रही हूँ। वो तो यहाँ ड्राइंग रूम में मम्मी के टीवी नहीं है, बट टीवी देख रही हूँ एंड आई एम लाइक मस्त फोन स्क्रॉल कर रही हूँ सारा दिन, दोस्तों से गप्पे मार रहे हैं, नथिंग स्पेशल राइट, बिकॉज दे हैव अ स्कोप ऑफ डूइंग व्हाट दे डोंट वांट टू डू। Yep, he has a scope but he's not doing it. Maybe he has everything achieved. Wow, ये तो आपने मस्त कंक्लूजन निकाल लिया कि सब है इसलिए अब मोटे हो जाते हैं और बिल्कुल सोफे पे पड़े रहते हैं और चिप्स खाते हैं, राइट? That was not the point, guys. We don't have to make any assumptions over here. Just take it on the face of it. This person A is has chosen an easy life versus person B, has actually decided to create a difference. Do you think athletes would be having a bigger middle brain? Or do you think people who just come to home and don't do any workout would be having a bigger brain? Come on, guys. I'm asking a serious question. कुछ लोग मजे ले रहे हैं, मुझे पता है चैट में मुझसे. Some people are just doing things for fun, which is absolutely fine. We all should have fun, but let's understand this thing very clearly. ठीक है? Wherever there is effort required. See, athletes would also get tired. माना की आदत पड़ जाती है यार उनको, ठीक है? Of because they have to have that body, they have to have that stamina that, I need to be exercising, otherwise I'm out of the game, and they love doing what they do. But that is a difficult thing for them. Like they are getting outside of their comfort zone every day in order to achieve whatever needs to be achieved. So basically they have a bigger brain, they have bigger strength of brain, right? And that is exactly what this part within our brain, which is anterior mid-cingulate cortex, does for us. It increases the willpower. The bigger is the size, the bigger is the willpower. The bigger is the willpower, the bigger are the chances that you're going to make more money, right? All right, so I can see, yep, absolutely. It was person B. Whoever said person A, I don't know what was going on in your minds. But person B, of course, was the one who's hitting the gym, who's exercising, who's taking part in different things just to take care, who's letting go of the chole bhature, right? Who's letting go of the amazing food out there because he knows how important it is for that person to stay fit and healthy, right? So if I have to ask you guys, okay, before I even ask you guys, let me play a video, okay? So that I can show you a video as to how this part actually works, okay? Just give me a second because I was watching this video today in the afternoon and it made so much sense that I thought I'll show it to you guys. Okay. Can we start a video, guys? Would you like to watch? It is related to this part of the brain only and how we can strengthen it. Okay, so you'll understand a little bit more better.
Every
Can you guys hear
single
it?
day, you should do something you hate. I have a question for you.
Okay.
Today, I want to tell you why every single day you should do something you hate. I have a question for you. Did you know that you're holding back a hidden superpower in your brain? This isn't some mystical, feel good mumbo jumbo. It's science. He was on a podcast with David Goggins, and he was speaking about a brain region called the anterior mid-cingulate cortex, or we're going to call it the aMCC. Now, why is the aMCC so important? The aMCC is the gym for your willpower. This is the part of your brain that gets fired up when you make decisions, especially tough ones that involve uncertainty or conflict. It's like the mental muscle that you use to resist the extra slice of cake, or wake up early for a run, or say no to a tempting but ultimately unproductive distraction. But here's the kicker. So research has actually shown that the more that you engage in an activity that challenges you, so think about a task that you might not want to do, but you know you should. the more your aMCC develops. It's increasing in both size and activity. And it's been observed in individuals who consistently engage in these uncomfortable activities. They tend to have larger aMCs compared to those that really shy away from challenges. So this includes athletes who push their physical limits. Also, think of individuals who are battling obesity, who are making difficult dietary or lifestyle change. And even more fascinating, studies are revealing a correlation between the size of the aMCC and longevity. So it seems that those with larger aMCs tend to live longer and healthier lives. And it's not just about lifespan. The aMCC is increasingly being associated with a stronger will to live. So this suggests that the willingness to embrace discomfort, to do the hard things, this might be a key factor in not just surviving, but thriving. Now, most of us live in this cozy little bubble called a comfort zone. It's familiar, it's easy, it is the enemy of aMCC growth. By avoiding discomfort, we're essentially depriving our brain of the very stimulus that it needs to develop willpower and resilience. It's like expecting to build a muscle without ever lifting a weight. I'm not talking about quitting your job and becoming a nomad and traveling all over the world and putting yourself into these exceptionally high stress environments, although if you want to do it, it's cool. I'm just talking about taking baby steps consistently outside of this little cozy bubble that all of us live in. It's about facing your fears. It's about taking on challenges that push you to grow. This is how you activate and strengthen your aMCC. This unlocks your full potential for personal and professional success. I want you to think of a few scenarios. If you're an entrepreneur, if you've ever thought of putting off a launch of a product because you were afraid of failure or you were afraid of how people would perceive you or judge you, this is an opportunity to grow your aMCC. Your aMCC was begging for a workout. If you are an investor and you hesitated to pull a trigger on a big investment, again, aMCC growth opportunity. If you're a creator, if you're stuck in a rut, if you're afraid to try a new style or a new medium because the type of content that you posted on TikTok for the past 5 years has worked and you don't want to go outside your comfort zone, this was an opportunity to grow your aMCC. So when we talk about aMCC and we talk about growth, one of the best analogies that I love is the Goldilocks principle for growth. Just like Goldilocks and her porridge, there's a sweet spot for when it comes to discomfort. There's an optimal spot for discomfort and getting outside your comfort zone that will actually benefit you, help you grow your aMCC, and help you grow as a person. Too little discomfort and you're not challenging yourself enough. Too much discomfort and you risk burnout or just straight up overwhelm. So Huberman's framework helps you find that perfect balance, the zone where growth happens. Now, there are 3 zones of discomfort. There is the comfort zone. So this is where most of us spend our lives. It's familiar, it's predictable, and it's boring. Nothing new happens here. Your aMCC is basically asleep. Next, there's a panic zone. This is the opposite extreme. It's the realm of extreme stress, anxiety, and panic. And while short bursts of intense stress can be beneficial, if you spend too much time in the panic zone, this can actually be detrimental to your health and your well-being. And then there's a third zone, which is the optimal discomfort zone. So this is a sweet spot. This is where you feel challenged but not overwhelmed. This is where you're pushing your limits, but you're still in control. This is where your aMCC gets the best workout. So how do you find your optimal discomfort zone? How do you operate in this happy medium where you can grow but not burn out, but you don't want to stay the same? So this is what you do. Step 1, you identify your edge. What scares you a little bit? What are you curious about but you haven't tried yet? That's your edge. Step 2, take small steps. So don't try and jump from the comfort zone straight into the panic zone. Start with small, manageable challenges that push you just beyond your current capabilities. Step 3, embrace the suck. It's going to be uncomfortable. That's the whole point. But remember, discomfort is a sign of growth. And in step 4, adjust as needed. If you find yourself getting overwhelmed, dial it back a little bit. If it feels too easy, push a little harder. The key is to find the right level of challenge for you and your particular set of circumstances and your lifestyle and what you feel okay with. Now, there's a second thought that came up in that podcast. So Huberman was speaking about something called the dopamine connection, and it all ties together. So what is the dopamine connection? What is dopamine? Huberman speaks about dopamine through the context of its role in motivation and decision-making. So dopamine is a neurotransmitter that plays a very important role in reward-motivated behavior. When we take on a challenge and we achieve our goals, our brain releases dopamine, which makes us feel good and it motivates us to keep going. However, Dopamine isn't just about pleasure, it's also about learning and adaptation. So when we push ourselves outside our comfort zone, our brains release dopamine, which helps us learn from our experience and adapt to new challenges. So this dopamine release doesn't just happen after we succeed, it also kicks in when we anticipate a reward or a challenge. So this anticipatory dopamine gives us the energy and the motivation to push through discomfort and tackle the challenge head on. Said simply, if you start, you're going to get a dopamine release that's going to allow you to do the hard things. And then there's this reward mechanism built in. So it ends up being a flywheel that you can only take advantage of if you really start to take action. So when you think about the optimal zone for growing your aMCC, for getting out of your comfort zone, I mean, this whole YouTube video, this whole podcast could be summed up in just saying, if you take action, this is the first step. And I want to just take this home with one last analogy. Discomfort is not a tax you pay on success. It's the investment that you make in it. So every time you step outside your comfort zone, you deposit into a high yield account called personal growth. And the dividends, they compound over time. The dividends are resilience, the ability to bounce back from setbacks and thrive in the face of adversity. Dividends are adaptability, the capacity to pivot, evolve, and innovate in this very rapidly changing world. Dividends are confidence, this unwavering belief in your ability to conquer any challenge that comes your way. And the dividends eventually will be success. It'll be the achievement of goals that once seemed possible. See, staying comfortable is a choice, and there's a cost with that choice. It's a choice to settle for mediocrity, to play it safe, to live a life of unfulfilled potential. But remember, the comfort zone is a mirage. It promises safety, but it delivers stagnation. The comfort zone is a prison. It confines you to your current capabilities and prevents you from reaching new heights. And the comfort zone ultimately is a thief. It steals your dreams, it steals your ambitions, it steals your chance to create a life that you truly love. So, the path of discomfort is the path to extraordinary achievement. This is a challenge I want you to take on right now. Identify one area of your life where you've been playing it safe. Set one ambitious goal that scares you a little bit and take one small step towards that goal today. Don't overthink it, just start. The discomfort you feel is proof that you're on the right track. And remember, comfort is the enemy of greatness. Discomfort is the price of admission to the life that you dream of. You have to ask yourself, are you ready to pay that price? Your future self is watching, and they're either going to thank you or curse you for the decision that you make right now. In this lessons episode, discover how personal branding transforms from mere self-promotion.
All right, guys. How many of you really got the understanding as to what was being discussed in the video and could make it out? Right? All right. You did? All went over head. I could see you, Vaidehi. वो शक्ल पे दिख रहा था कि कुछ समझ नहीं आ रहा. But did most of you guys understand, guys, what was happening? Yep, that was really good info that needs to be implemented. Absolutely. Like if we can implement it, so literally everything can change. Like this is the way via which the size of the brain increases. Okay? Some point are very amazing, understand pretty well, if not completely. Yep. I can share the link in the group also if you want to watch it at a slower pace or with subtitles. But the point that that man was trying to make was simple, that the more you get out of your comfort zone, the more your future self is going to thank you in your past, because you're paying the price that's required for success, right? And if you do more of what you don't like doing, that means of course you're getting more outside of your comfort zone, and that means you're going to achieve more. That was the gist of what that man was saying. So yes, this middle brain is responsible for us to help us in achievement of our goals, and the size of the middle brain can be increased if we are able to focus on doing more of what we don't like doing. Cool. So guys, can we all identify one area, like before we leave for today, can we all identify one area where we are lacking, and what is that one action that we are going to take? ठीक है. Matlab, what is that area and what is that one action that we would like to take so that we can start increasing the size of our brain starting today? Come on, can we do that? Everyone, okay? We all have to think of that one area which is uncomfortable and what is that one task that needs to be done in order to increase the size of the brain. Cool? So I can see Bhavna is writing daily exercise, 20 minutes. I feel lazy, I will conquer that. How, Vedi? That is the point here. What are you going to do to be able to conquer that? We'll try to drive car from tomorrow. Great, Dilip. Okay, content creation. All right. That's great. First small discomfort was enrolling for 5 a.m. EFT small steps, which is great, Srikant, since you enrolled. Wake up early and start doing the work. All right. Laziness, delaying work. So, what are you going to do, Sanjana, in order to overcome the laziness and the delay? Waking up early. All right. Amazing. So, guys, the size of the brain, the middle brain is going to increase, and the more you do that, the more easier it is going to get closer to your dream identity that you wish for yourself. Right? Exercise, walking in grass, waking early, amazing. So let's start doing it from, if possible, today, if you are not someone who sleeps early. Otherwise, for sure, from tomorrow, guys. Can we do that? Can we make it a point? All right, so we're going to focus on increasing the size of our middle brain from today. All right. Okay, so it is going to be a short session today, guys. I know most of the people here are tired. I can see that. So we are going to close it early and we are going to literally break the excuses, as Sanjana says, and we are going to start doing without any excuse. Yes, Neerav, you wanted to ask something? You can go ahead. Speak up. Neerav, bolo.
How long would it take to recognize that your midbrain sizes become bigger?
So
How
when
would you
you
ever come out to know that?
we won't necessarily get to know that, just that you start doing an activity until it is uncomfortable. You keep doing it. Once it becomes comfortable, then that means the size has grown, because you basically could adapt to that one activity and you move to the next one which you don't like, and then you start
Okay.
more.
So we can start and stop and then choose another activity.
You don't have to start. If you already go to the gym and you really like doing the gym, you continue doing that and you pick up another activity which you don't like doing today.
Okay.
Is necessary. Okay. So then this when the second activity habit gets built, you can move on to the third one and start doing that. But keep the first, second on. Don't stop first and second and then do the third. फिर वरना फायदा क्या हुआ ना एक अच्छी habit छोड़ के दूसरी पे जाने का. Right? All
All
right.
right. Thank you, ma'am.
You're welcome, Nirav. Uh, all right. I hope your mother is doing better now.
Yeah, much better. Reports are positive, but there are few other tests we need to do.
Mm-hmm.
So that will be coming next week probably.
Hopefully she gets better soon.
Yeah. Thank you, ma'am.
Thank you, Nirav. All right, guys. So that's it for today. In that case, I'm going to see you guys tomorrow morning at 5 a.m. for those of you who are there. Else, we're going to meet next Monday, 7 p.m., like usual. Thank you. Good night. Bye bye.
Good night. Bye.